Success.
So everyone in the chat is correct. This was supposed to start at 5, but it wouldn't be a YouTube live show if things didn't go wrong. So here we are. Thank you for your understanding. So today we'll be talking BookNet Fest stuff and just book community stuff and just fun stuff, whatever you guys feel like talking about with us, basically. So we're going to be joined by guests throughout. Our first guest is obviously already here, and that's Adriana, Perpetual
Pages. I'm here.
We've been suffering through the technical difficulties.
It's okay.
Yeah. So it's going to be wonderful. So let's just start off. This is Adriana's first time at BookNet Fest and any book event, is that? Right?
Any book event ever.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts about this being your first event, and what are you excited about, I guess?
Oh my gosh. I'm excited about everything. Mostly, obviously, meeting people, hanging out. We're already planning like collabs and things we want to do together. Yeah, I'm just really excited. I have to like look through all the questions for the panels and start like putting together actual thoughts. Because there's a lot going on. But yeah, it's like overwhelming, but it's exciting for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. What have you been doing to kind of plan for this trip? For people that maybe it's their first event too, like what have you kind of been doing to like psych yourself up for being social? Because I feel like a lot of us need to do that.
It's a lot. Yeah. I don't know. Mostly I had to like buy new clothes. Yeah, because I was like, I need shorts because I work mostly in pants, obviously. So I was like, I need to go out, need to get new shirts that are like book related. I need to get new shorts and just all that stuff. So like thinking about when the flight is and started making like my packing list. Like I need all this stuff and I need it by this date. So there's a lot happening. There's a lot happening. Yeah.
I feel like that whenever there are book events and stuff, there have been comments made in the past, like from the community at large, just about like dressing up at events and things like that. But I think that there's something like about preparing yourself in that way. And like, I don't know, it just feels like I don't know what's happening, but I know what I'm going to wear. And something about that is like almost like soothing and calming, especially when you're stepping into like an unknown. I've seen so many tweets about people like preparing what they're going to wear.
Yeah.
But I think it's like one of the few things you have control over.
Exactly.
And like putting your best foot forward and all of that stuff.
Yeah, like I'm not going to be on like some crazy fashion level, but I'm just like, I want to be, wearing what I like and just, getting the best stuff ready. Yeah, but getting the best stuff ready for me. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And the whole thing about BookNet Fest too, since we chose Orlando, it's really a vacation spot for a lot of people. So people are like prepping for vacation. So like, some people have been like, who's getting a new bathing suit? I did. I sure did for the pool. Like, it's a big deal. So yeah, I tried to pare down my shopping this year to not do that.
Yeah,
I totally get the like pre-vacation shopping. It's a big deal.
It's a big deal. Yeah. For sure.
Awesome. So everybody that's in here chatting in the comments is kind of talking about clothes and stuff. How many people are cosplaying for prom? Because that's something that we've been hearing and that I myself am doing. I got some supplies for it. I don't know if it's going to arrive in time, so I may or may not be cosplaying. But that is definitely something. So definitely let us know in the comments and in the chat if you're here while this is live, if you are doing any kind of cosplay, because I would love to know.
Yeah.
So yeah, any kind of reading plans leading up to the event or during the weekend, Adriana, that you're planning?
I don't have anything planned for the weekend yet because I just think it's going to be like so busy. Like I'll take something with me to have to read like before bed, but I'm not like, I'm going to get through this book on like BookNet Fest weekend because that'd be crazy. Right now, I mean, obviously right now I'm in the middle of Get Graphic. This is the last day of Get Graphic. So I've been reading comics like crazy this weekend. I still have to finish The Beautiful by Renee Ahdieh. I hope to finish that by the end of the month before BookNet Fest. Nice. And then, then I have a couple of like review things I have to read like before I make some videos for next month. So like, if anything, that's what I'll be taking with me is the stuff I have to read for review.
Definitely.
For real.
Yeah. Why don't you talk about Get Graphic a little bit? I know you and Kayla do that. So if you want to just...
Yeah. It's like really chill. We usually do it once a year. I think usually during the fall or just before fall. And it's just a like really relaxed weekend long readathon. So just 3 days, Friday to Sunday, where you just read any kind of graphic work. So comics, web comics, manga, manhwa, anything like that. As long as it's told in images, then it counts. So yeah, it's just really relaxed. And this year we have Matthew from Matthew Sharapa as our guest host. So it's like really fun. We do like Instagram challenges and Twitter sprints, but it's like very laid back. Like as long as you read one thing, like you're doing great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I plan on participating more next year because I'll be able to buy myself new graphic novels. I didn't let myself this year.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, you're not allowed. So
for the purposes of keeping your TBR down?
Sure. Yep. Sure.
Yeah.
Just filmed a book haul. It's fine.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Yeah, I think that's what I noticed though, is like for a lot of us, like the comics tend to pile up because we're like, oh, those are really quick things. Like, I'll get through it really fast, but then we never do. So it's kind of like nice to like just kind of blaze through your TBR in 3 days. So at least your comic TBR. So
awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we're getting ready to get our next guest. So thank you, Adriana, for joining us. I can't wait to meet you because Adriana was one of the first people I started talking to on BookTube, so you guys know. We've never met.
I know, it's crazy.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited. Okay, thank you guys for having me.
You.
Bye.
Alrighty, so we will wait for next guest to pop in. In the meantime, Madi, any thoughts? Look, you're like, we talk, so Madi and I talk like once a week, face to face like this. And then obviously over text and group chat like through the rest of the week. So we talk a lot, but I know that she's like feeling the excitement, but also stressed like I am. So
I know, yeah. And it's weird because it's not like necessarily bad stress. Like it's not coming from any place of like we have so many things to do, but it's just like the natural anxiety of like, do we have everything? And it's getting so close. And dealing with like I've been trying to just relax because I've been like very on edge, and that's like nobody's fault and nothing that we can do to control it. So I've been rereading Pride and Prejudice and watching all the adaptations and like trying to reach my zen, honestly.
Classic.
Yeah, but I'm super excited. I'm just like the time to here flew by. So it's kind of like, oh my gosh, we're here already. Like, is everything done? And yeah. How are you feeling?
I know. I feel pretty much the same. It's just kind of like we know that we have everything done, but we just want everything to go off without a hitch. And there's so many exciting things this year with prom and a lot of other things that we have planned. So it's just been, like this is like we've always talked about year 3 being the big year, and really just seeing it kind of come to fruition is really cool, but obviously scary because it's like our child. So
yeah, and I mean we are doing things that we've done before, so we are confident. Like, okay, we've done this, but then we add a new element, and then it's all of that. Like, oh my god, will this be good?
What's gonna happen? We never know. All right, I think we have our next guest.
Cool.
Let's see. Yay!
Hi guys. I gotta like adjust my camera here.
Right.
I don't know what to do here. There we go.
Opposite. Yeah, there you go.
Hi.
Hi.
I really prefer this new streaming thing because we get to see everyone's like names and everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten to try it yet, but hopefully on my next live show I'll be trying it.
Right. Well, do you want to introduce yourself and your platform and everything to everybody that's watching?
Okay. Hi guys. My name is Chloe. I run the YouTube channel Brunette Bibliophile. I have been doing it for 6 years, and then I also have Bookstagram that I don't really use that much, and I'm also Twitter, same name, Brunette Bibliophile, and then @BrunetteBiblio.
Well, you have attended other bookish events and you've attended things before. So before, our last guest was a first-time attendee. What are your kind of tips for attending just book events in general for people?
For me, I am always like, I have to plan ahead. Like a lot of people I know are just like, okay, I can get ready the day before. And I'm like, I have to know ahead of time, like what I'm doing, what I'm wearing, what I'm bringing. So I highly recommend packing lists and looking at schedules ahead of time and trying to figure out what you want to do and when you're going to be able to take breaks. Highly recommend that. And sometimes the plans don't go according to schedule and you just got to roll with it. And I highly recommend being prepared to roll with it as well.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, like just be prepared, plan, especially a packing list. That is my whole thing is I've got to plan like what I'm bringing.
Yeah. I feel like my packing list, I always have my same like packing list every time. I have an app for it and I'm able to like cross things off as I go to make sure like, yes, you still have this, because every year I forget something, or every event I forget something. So
yeah,
it'll be this time.
Yeah,
I've had a suitcase open for like a month now, and just because it's like I remember something. I mean, there's certain things that I can put away now. So if I remember something, I'll just like put it there, or I'll like make a note like on where my suitcase is. So it just helps me because I'm really bad about like, oh yeah, I have to do that and then forgetting. But if my suitcase is open, I can like immediately either make a note or put it away and just like keep going.
Yeah, I'm trying really hard to not have my suitcase out now. Like I always want to do it like a week before, but like with each event I get better at putting out like, okay, a couple days before.
Yeah.
It is Virgo season. That is a very Virgo season thing to do. I've been joking with everybody I know that I am prepared to like help anybody organize, clean their apartment. Let's Virgo season this up.
That's my thing too. Like I'm super like, especially about clothes. Like if I get new clothes, it's like, okay, I have too many. Time to get rid of some. And I just start gone. It's gone.
Yeah, I'm like the opposite of an early packer. I don't pack super early. I do like the day before the day I leave is all the non-essentials, and then the day I leave is all my essential stuff that I use like every day. But when I get home, I unpack immediately. This is a new thing for me. But I get home, I'm unpacking the same day. Otherwise, I'm never gonna unpack. It's gonna sit there. So yeah, I come home and I feel all like accomplished. Like my suitcase is away, everything is in its place, and I feel better. But yeah, that was a thing I didn't used to do, and now I do, and I feel so much better.
Exactly. I'm unpack immediately and start a load of laundry.
Yeah.
It's like half the time I have work the next day and it's like, well, I need pants.
Exactly. It's an essential. Are there any books that you're packing for BookNet Fest?
I don't know yet. I just did the BookNet Fest tag and I was like, okay, I don't know. Probably something off of my TBR. The only for sure books that are going are ones for the book swap. And then I think my own, like in our hotel room, we're going to be doing like an unhaul party of just like whatever you want to get rid of, just bring it and we'll get rid of it. Either somebody will take it or it'll get donated, something like that. So the only for sure things are my unhaul books, but nothing else reading yet. Probably one of my arcs. I did really bad at Arc August. So.
I want to think that I will read something over that weekend, but that's so unrealistic. I'm an e-book reader, so I'm always carrying like an entire library with me, so it's not a big deal to think about like what I'm gonna pack. But yeah, probably not gonna read much that weekend.
Yeah, I always try and at least get like a little bit of reading done before bed, and then if I have time throughout the day, great. But most of the time, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, maybe some poolside reading.
Yes, I like. That's the one reason why I love this hotel is because I always go down the water slide and the waterfall is just amazing.
It is a really nice pool. Like I know everyone kind of talks about how, they see the pool and they don't get a chance to take advantage of it. I actually went last year and I love it so much. It's so relaxing. And there doesn't tend to be it depends on each year, I guess, but we haven't had like a ton of kids all over the pool when I've been, because I think it tends to be more of like an adult resort kind of. So that's kind of nice too, because then you don't have to worry about it being like a super crowded pool. Yeah, water slide, waterfall, and some really cool lights at night as well.
Yeah, I think that's when we went swimming the past 2 years was at night. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
We talked a lot about this when we were like trying to build the event, but Sam and I met at a book event, and we have a group of friends that keep going back to book events to basically hang out with each other. So it's so fun to me to hear people talk about all the different elements of BookNet Fest, like whether it's like the panels, the content, the book swaps, the like pool, and enjoying Orlando or whatnot, because we know that that's why people go to events, is for like all of that stuff combined, right? Like friends and activities and stuff, and then obviously like the event itself. So And I'm just like so excited about all of it too. I'm like, yeah, cool. Oh yeah, and we're putting up
Yeah, like prior to, I think my first like big event was BookCon in 2016. I never went to events before then, and even now, like I don't get out to BookCon every year, but you know, this event I always get out to, and then I have some local events that I always try and attend. But especially with this event, it's just I'm surrounded by my people who get it, and that's like the best part. And I've met like all of my bookish friends. I think I've met at book events.
Yeah. Well, Chloe, thank you so much for joining us, and we're excited to see you in just like a few. Is it even weeks at this point? It's less than weeks.
Yeah, there's just like, so much happening right now.
Like a week and a few days.
Yeah.
So, looking forward to seeing you very shortly, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you. I'm so excited to see you both.
Bye.
See you soon. Bye.
Alrighty, and we already have our next guest
Yeah.
lined up. Let's get going. Yay!
I'm always early, so.
So this is Kathy, obviously, and if you guys don't already know, Kathy created the BookNet Fest tag, which was not at all encouraged by us. She did it all on her own, so we just really appreciate her for doing that.
Yeah, no, I remember feeling nervous about it because I like created it, was about to post it. I was like, maybe I should ask them if I'm allowed to do this. Allowed? Like, they're probably fine, but I'll ask anyway.
Yeah,
totally
it's really cool to see, you know, people do it and just be able to see people that are coming that, you know, it's so hard on YouTube. And we've talked about this before, I think all of us, about how it's hard to find other channels because YouTube's search algorithm is just completely trash. So it's nice to have some kind of tag or video that a lot of people are doing that you can find people just by a basic search, since searching in general on YouTube is not the best.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I wanted it for. I wanted a way to like ice break and know the people that I'm going to see the faces of and be like, ah, yes, I remember you. You have a cat or whatever from their videos. So I'll probably not remember your name, but I'll remember you had a cat. So
Perfect.
Yeah.
So as far as a veteran of the event, because really you've been going, you know, a long time at this point, not that it's like a long running event or anything, but what are some just tips and tricks that you have for people that might be going for the first time, might be nervous or anything like that that you want to share with people?
As far as being nervous, like I know that, you know, 90% of us are going to be introverts because that's just the bookish stereotype, but like everybody is just so kind and everybody else is also nervous. Well, not everybody, but you know what I mean? So I know people are going to be nervous if they're going to be nervous, because that's not how nervousness works. You can't just be like, don't be nervous, and they won't be. But honestly, everybody is just so kind and lovely that you're going to enjoy yourself. I always tend to, especially at events like this or even smaller social gatherings, I always just find like one person that I at least know their name and that we have something in common. And in this case, everybody will have something in common because books. But I always find one person I just kind of attach to them for a while. And then I feel much more comfortable because I'm not going at it alone. I'm there and I have a human being that likes me, at least. I know there's at least one, and then obviously I know there are more after that, but it's a coping mechanism.
True.
A buddy system at the very beginning, you know, just like having that one person until you feel comfortable to kind of branch out from there. Exactly, yeah, because I'm that type of person that if there's more than like 5 people in a group, I suddenly can't pay attention because the conversation will break off, and then I'll be like trying to listen to this conversation, and not really be in either one. So if I have like that one person, I'll be like, I'll just be in whatever conversation they're in, or I'll bring them into my conversation if I want to talk about something. So yeah, it's pretty easygoing event. I really like it for that.
Yeah.
I'm an introverted person, but I'm introverted like when I want to be by myself. I want to be by myself in my space. If I'm doing things outside, I want to be with people because I like that support. Like I'm always like, want to go shopping with me to like my sisters because I want to like do people. But one of the trickiest things for me to navigate is like breaking into those conversations. Like if you see a group of people and you kind of want to join and you're doing like the awkward like, how do I join? The funny thing about that is like if I'm facilitating a thing, I can definitely be that person that's like, hey, other person I don't know, come over here and talk to us. Whereas if I'm that person who's just on the outside, I'm like, I don't know how to talk to humans. So I'm the same.
Totally fair. Yeah, this year we've always thought about this as like, needing icebreakers for an event, because we all know how like weird it can be. So we are having like little things set up around the event that are very bookish fandom, big fandom kind of focused, and just bookish focus in general. So people will be able to find their people even easier.
Yes.
Like this event, we created it so that you can find your people, and that, we're all book people. But if you need that extra little push, we'll probably have stuff set up like find your Hogwarts house, and everyone knows their Hogwarts house, so like it just makes it really easy, things like that. And there's a lot of people are setting up little social events that aren't officially part of BookNet Fest. Like there's going to be trivia. I think there's going to be a writers meetup kind of thing. Yeah. So definitely check those things out as well too. If you need an even smaller version of social stuff, we recommend that kind of thing as well.
Yeah.
So there was a question that someone had up in the chat. If I can find it again, I will, about food. And since we have a veteran attendee, I think it's a really good question to ask. Favorite places to eat when you're at the event, or like after the event or whatever.
I'm the type of person that like I'll go to the grocery store before I go to the event and like grab granola bars or whatever I can eat throughout the day. And then as for like eating on site, like there is that little restaurant outside, and it's nice because pretty much everybody is going to be like, well, we have an hour and you can't go very far. So everybody just kind of gravitates to what's close. But yeah, I'm cheap because my dollar doesn't work as well as your dollar does. So I tend to get snack type foods just out of necessity of like I can eat it whenever I want, assuming I'm not like crunching on granola in the middle of somebody's panel. Yeah, that's the only way I remember to actually eat at things like cons is bring my own food and eat it when I can.
I think that's like an amazing thing to keep in mind too, because people tend to start to go in the middle of the event, but it's good to like pause and eat and things like that. So keep bringing your own snacks. We always have a bunch of snacks in our room as well, especially because we are like bouncing from one thing to the next. And those things come in clutch just in case you need them. But there are lots of things on site that you can eat. Right outside of our meeting rooms, there's like 2 options for food, and some out by the pool. And Orlando in general has obviously like lots more options, but things tend to be very like centered in the hotel around the event. So the hotel has options as well.
Oh yeah, and yeah, there is coffee for Bethany asking and the thing. There's coffee. There's also booze. Booze is important to some people. I won't say everybody wants booze, but I want booze. So.
Yeah, definitely recommend. Some people are saying that the hotel is expensive, and like as hotels will be, things for convenience are going to be slightly more expensive, but we're also in kind of a vacation-y area, so Disney's so close by that it's just going to be amplifying prices. But they do have there's a cafe that's open, I think 24 hours, that has food, and it's convenience, but they have like pizzas and stuff too that they make, and some like hot food. But definitely try to stop at a grocery store and get some of the like smaller snacks to save money that way. My favorite restaurant on site is the little like pool bar one. It's like a tropical something. That one I think has the best food personally. They have a black bean burger that is like top notch. I think I ate it 3 times last year. So like definitely
find something you like. You have to have it. Yeah,
exactly. So I recommend that restaurant the most. And I think the main restaurant in the building does like pretty decent breakfast too. So if anyone's curious. Okay. Anything that you're particularly excited about for this year?
I mean, it's always the answer of like seeing all my friends. Like I booked the time off for this event the day I got home from the last event because I knew I was coming. Like, it was going to happen. It was going to happen. It's going to happen every year. I'm actually even because, I'm excited about BookNet Fest and never not excited about BookNet Fest. I'm already excited about 2020 because a friend who has never been and I've never seen in person will be there, and I'm very excited about it. So it's always the friends, but like in addition to that, I'm very excited for the prom, especially with all of the different awesome music choices that you sampled. I'm just like, yes, this is gonna be great because it's all gonna be music from like when I was in like prom age, which is just great.
I was a little bit too overexcited about making the playlist. Like our group chat, I just kept posting like, guys, I have to be stopped. Guys, I've added this song. guys, I have too much power. And I'm like, no, it's fine. And I'm like, I'm just really having a great time. So
this is not an exaggeration. This is literally what was happening in the group chat.
That's literally what I said. Because I am so extra about prom planning. Like, party planning is something that I honestly, at one point in my life, I probably will do, like when I'm 65 and don't want to work my real job anymore.
Yeah.
So, that is something that I just get way too overly excited about. But you mentioned that you have a friend that's coming next year that you've never met. And what I kind of love as this theme for BookNet Fest that has happened over the years is a lot of people meeting up at BookNet Fest for the first time that have been book friends for a while.
Yeah.
That happened last year with me and Sarah Jane, who've been friends for like 4 years. That's happened with a lot of other people we've heard throughout. So it's just nice that this is this theme of best friends getting to meet up at our event for the first time, which makes me so happy.
It makes me so happy too. Like seeing that you got to meet Sarah Jane, I was just like, that's so adorable. I just want to make an event so y'all will come to like my side of the because that would be better for my budget and my travel budget. But
that's totally fair.
Go to Orlando, twist my arm, whatever. Take 3 flights. I'll do it. I don't care. I love this event.
Alrighty, I think we're almost ready for our next guest. So thank you so much, Kathy, for joining us. We can't wait to see you again and like mere days.
Yes. Okay. I will see you very soon in person.
Yes. Bye.
Oh my gosh, the more we talk about it and the more I see people talking in the chat, I just get like so geeked out excited because other people are geeked out excited.
Yes, for sure. I think there was a moment of when you hit like stress moments or whatnot. There was last week at one point I was just like, oh my god, stressing about it, and people started doing the BookNet Fest tag, so I kept seeing people like posting it, and I was like, oh, okay, this is why we do it.
Yeah,
this is fun, and people are excited, and we love this event, and people are enjoying coming to it. So it kind of puts things in perspective.
Yeah, I know. I feel like like you said, there definitely is like these last few months are just kind of crunch time for us, just so everyone else kind of knows. Like we talk almost weekly throughout the year. We give ourselves about like a couple months break, and then we start talking about it. And it's just like this slow buildup, and we always try to space things out, but there's only so much you can space out with an event. Like you kind of have to do stuff towards the end. So these last few months have just been kind of crazy, and both of our like personal like work lives mostly have also been nuts. So it's kind of like we sort of want to die, but like we're excited for the end. Like, but it's just like now is not the time, but we can't do anything about it. So that's been kind of fun, like it always is every year.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, next guest. Yay!
Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yes.
Okay, good. Yay. Live streaming is not my friend normally, and the sound situation was a little dicey, so I'm hoping we'll be okay this time.
Looks good. We can see you, we can hear you, and your lipstick is fantastic.
Well, thank you. I've been pre-filming this weekend and editing because I have this, then I have people staying with me, then I'm traveling for work, so I'm like, gotta crank these out.
Turn them out.
yeah, I gotta crank it out. So
yeah, I hear you. I feel like that's what I'm doing too, but I don't have videos quite planned yet for when I'm gone. So I'm like, you need to figure this out because next weekend is going to need to be my pre-filming, and it's just like, I don't have the brain space right now to think of this.
That's a future Sam problem. That's not a today.
Exactly. I try to think that way, but today Sam still freaks out a little bit.
Fair.
So do you want to introduce yourself and your platforms and everything to everybody?
Yes. So my name is Mara, and I'm at Books Like Whoa. I am a booktuber. I am a bookstagrammer, aspirational. I don't have the same kind of setups that I feel like a lot of people do, but I take pictures of my books, so I guess I'm a bookstagrammer.
Qualified.
And, yeah, exactly. And I'll dip my toes into Twitter, and then I'll see that it's a mess, and I'll dip on back out of there. But yeah, so those are my main, and Goodreads, I guess, but mostly BookTube. That's my deal.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Any tips for people attending the event or things about events that you want to share with anybody?
Well, this is going to be my first bookish event ever, so I'm excited. I almost went to BookCon this year because one of my best friends works for HarperCollins, and she was going to let me share her room and all that good stuff, but didn't work out. So this is my first one, and I don't know. I'm excited. Like we were talking about, I'm very excited because I'm going to get to meet Bethany, who I think is in the chat, and Leanna from Leanna's Library for the first time. So that will be really fun. And I I don't know. I'm just excited because like, so I'm a business person. I work in IT, like I'm a consultant, and this is like my creative outlet, but I keep that very separate from my work life. So, and I've only recently let people in my personal life know about this. So I'm just excited to be able to fully talk about like dick soap and somebody knows what I'm talking about. Like people who actually know this community, I'm just really excited to geek out with people.
I think Sam and I probably relate to that a lot because we both have like day jobs or whatnot that are very, I guess, like business minded or whatever, and totally different than like the things that we do here for our hobbies. And I too, like I keep my professional life and like this hobby, this YouTube thing completely separate or whatnot. So to like spend a weekend where everybody is just like all books all the time is, it's so good.
Yeah, I'm excited to bring. I was just picking out my. Here we go. My book swap book. So I'm excited to unhaul that, and I went and picked out a prom dress today. So like I'm getting my crap together. This is gonna. I'm really excited.
Yeah. And for those of you that don't know, if you're just watching and tuning in, we do have a book swap. So if you want to bring some books to swap with other people, definitely do that. That's been a pretty successful thing that we've done each year. It's kind of been an essential BookNet Fest thing. So definitely do that if you are interested. But as far as the job thing, I always feel like whenever there's something happening on book Twitter and I'm like this at work and people are like, who are you talking to, your boyfriend? I'm like, no, like you know,
with you.
like, I am single. Like, okay. And people are like, oh, where are you going to Orlando for Disney? I'm like, well, I'm going to Disney like one day. So why are you in Orlando? I made this event. It's like not a big deal, you know, whatever. Like it's fine. And they don't tend to ask a lot about it after that. But yeah, it's nice to be like with your book people.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, this is my like secret identity. So it's like, you know, I'm getting to live my Superman fantasy, I guess, whatever. Like I don't have to be Clark Kent. I can be Superman
all the time.
So that'll be nice.
Exactly. Yeah. So as this is your first book event, besides panels that you would be involved in, are there any panels that you're like super excited about, or you're making your schedule already? Like, what are you thinking about?
Well, I need to double check which ones overlap with mine. I'm very interested to hear about the drama one. I think that will be spicy. So I am a sucker for any kind of YouTube drama, like Jaclyn Hill lipsticks, any of it. I am like literally sitting there with my popcorn, like I'm living for it. So I don't get involved in booktube drama, but I enjoy observing it. So I'm excited about that one because,
I'm excited about that one too, and I'm moderating it.
So have you picked out are you going to be covering specific dramas? Is this going to be like a T channel live, or is this going to be like more?
I want to talk about like drama in general, but I've been keeping an ongoing list basically since the end of BookNet Fest last year of like drama things that have happened in the community. So I literally have my my list going so that I can reference in case we want to dive into specifics. So if anybody has anything that was like drama-y that happened like over the last year, feel free to send them my way. I want like a very robust list just so that I'm in the know as I'm moderating or whatnot.
Well, and the hard thing is I feel like a lot of booktube drama is not drama, it's actually serious.
Yes.
Which like is a bummer because I actually care about like the fact that like no Black women had won the Rita Award until this year. Like that's like real life. And I'm like, I need more dick soap. So like if people have more like examples of that kind of drama, I think that would be because like that I can have fun with.
Right. And it's like, I think that part of the conversation is just kind of trying to decipher and separate the things that are real topics that we're talking about and discussing and like picking apart, and things that are dick soap, you know, like how do you kind of navigate that world?
Yeah. Yeah. What's really great is that every year there is some kind of dick soap. Like we do have, like, it's always usually in the summer something happens and we are always texting each other like, Marty, it's the dick soap of this year. You know, like the first year it was that Lainey Sarum and her book. Like it's always around like summertime, and we're like, please give us fodder. Like, thank you. So it's like fertilizer for our event, really.
Yeah.
Again, because we have these day jobs that are a little more serious. I just love it because it's so petty. Anything that's petty, I'm like, thank you for reminding me that, like, to just relax and not take life too seriously.
Yeah, for sure. Exactly. I also appreciate that this year we actually have a full, we had a full, like, sort of drama panel last year, but it was kind of hard to get people to want to be on them. So I'm glad that it's just not like me and Madi on the panel talking about stuff.
I don't know. I mean, you can have your own tea channel for an hour. So, like, you just get your receipts and go through it. I mean, Peter Mon has a book channel, so you should invite him next year and he can just do a live
thing. Right? Have him do the whole keynote.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm trying to think of all the questions that I've been asking everybody. Is there anyone in particular that you're, like, looking forward to meeting, as far as, since this is your first event, if you haven't gotten to see other book people? Obviously, general kind, everybody you're probably looking forward to meeting, but is there somebody, like a friend that you've had for a long time, that you haven't had a chance to meet before this, or anything like that?
Definitely Bethany and Leanna. I think we're going to go have Harry Potter time on Sunday, so that'll be fun. Mm-hmm. I have to go to work on Monday, so I'm only going to get, like, a morning of Harry Potter, but that I think will be really fun to see them. I don't know, it's just weird. Like, even right now, this is so weird, because since I've never been to one of these events before, I'm like, I mean, it's that weird relationship you have with YouTubers where you feel like you know people, but, like, I've never actually talked to either of you before, even though I watch your content. So, like, I'm looking forward to that sort of weird through the looking glass experience of, like, oh, like, I see your face in my living room while I'm, like, chopping up onions, and like, it's just such a, I think that'll just be fun to see people that I watch and get to say, like, oh, I love this, or, just, I think it's affirming just to have people to interact with your content in person and not through just text, because sometimes I think tone doesn't come across well, and I think sometimes people are meaning to be, like, really excited, and I don't know, I just think it's different in person, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Definitely.
I don't know if that ever really goes away. There's an element, like, I've done a ton of book events, but there's always an element of seeing somebody kind of 2D and seeing them 3D for the first time, that, like, kind of working around, even just connecting it, in your brain for the first time. Sometimes people look super different, or, like, your brain doesn't process, like, I know who you are, I've watched your videos a million times, but, like, this is the first time I'm seeing you in person, and it takes a little bit for you to kind of process all that. And just like, I don't know, we talk sometimes every day, like, Sam and I, we talk, like, every day, and we see each other a couple times a year, so like, coming together in that way, and, like, kind of unloading a year's worth of, like, things we had been saying in chat and stuff, like, that feeling of excitement and, like, kind of navigating all of that never really goes away. But it's exciting. It is mostly positive to kind of do all of that.
Yeah, for sure. I think what's always really fun too, and people have talked about this before, is when you meet someone in person and, like, the height, like, you never know how tall anyone is on YouTube.
Oh my gosh.
No clue. And automatically my brain is always like, everyone's as tall as me, but I'm 5'7". So, like, I'm a taller girl, but, like, generally people are not. They're shorter than me.
No.
And I just never know until I see them.
I always say I'm a little teapot, short and stout. So I will definitely be shorter than people are expecting. And it's interesting because I actually, since my channel started, I've lost a bunch of weight. And so it'll be interesting if people know, like, just from that perspective, because I do look quite different from that perspective as well. So I don't know. I'm prepared for me to be a little munchkin for you.
It seems like a lot of people are saying in the chat too that they are short. I feel like this has been a chat before on, like, the BookNet Fest threads and stuff, that everyone's like, I'm short too. And there's a few people who are, like, 5'11", and they always make, like, comments about, like, just find the giant. So that's always fun. And I just get to be right in the middle. Like, I can go either way. Like,
I feel like it's the same thing with, like, most people are like, I'm introverted too. But we have a handful of BookNet Fest extroverts who are, like, they're just, like, coordinating, bringing people in, like, doing all of it. So, we have our handful of tall people and our handful of extroverts, and
I'm an extrovert, so I don't.
Great.
For good or for ill, I can talk about anything to anyone. So, like, if you just need someone to talk to, I probably can make that happen. So
awesome.
Yeah, one of the reasons that we recruited Caitlin of Book Chats to be kind of our volunteer coordinator is because she is an extrovert, And so we're like, she insists that she's an ambivert. I don't believe that to be true at all. I think she's an extrovert. So we recruited her because us two were like, I don't want to make a phone call to a place. And so we're like, who can we get?
Well, but that's different than me. That's just being a millennial. Like, I can't. A phone call is like the most stressful part of my day.
Well, we definitely need more just extroverts, just peppered throughout, so that us introverts can get up the strength to talk to people throughout the event as well.
I once, Caitlin and I shared a room when we were at VidCon one year, and it was the most hilarious thing because we would get back after like a long day of VidCon, and she'd be sitting there like almost like antsy. And then I would make eye contact or something with her. She's like, listen, I know you're an introvert, you need your introvert time right now, but I'm an extrovert. And I just want to tell you everything that happened today. And I'd be like, it's okay. You can tell me.
You're like, let me just put my headphones on and you can just go. I'll make eye contact with you. Oh, man. How was VidCon, by the way? That looks like it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I wasn't there this most recent event. I've been twice. So I went 1 year and skipped a year, went again and skipped a year. So I think that it is just a massive, overwhelming event. And the book community portion of it was so small, and then it's gotten like there's I don't even think there's a BookTube panel anymore. I know that there's usually a meetup and everything. So I think if you go, it's like one of those things that I would never discourage people from going to see, and because it's like amazing what they put together, but it's not necessarily one that I want to do every year, especially because my involvement in like YouTube in general kind of, ebbs and flows. Sometimes I am watching other channels. Sometimes I'm just like BookTube or whatnot. But it is vast and overwhelming and impressive, and a lot. And I think that going to VidCon, going to the BEAs and BookCons and all of that really informed a lot of like what BookNet Fest is. Mm-hmm. Whether for like these are things that we really like. The first time I saw a quiet room, I think, was at a VidCon or at a Green Brothers kind of event. So we like loved that and brought it over. Or there were things that are like, okay, this is too much. We can't do this. Like, this is how we're going to do it differently. So I love events in general. And I think pieces of all of the ones that I've been to have definitely, informed or influenced BookNet Fest.
Sure.
Yeah, definitely. Same thing with me.
What?
I just said same thing with me.
Have you been to VidCon?
I have not, but anytime I go to an event, even if it's like a work conference, because actually the first time I saw a quiet room was at a cancer conference, and which makes sense. They also had masseuses, which I would love to have at some point, but I don't think that's ever going to happen.
What is everyone thinking
right now?
Right? Yeah.
Next year, 5-year anniversary.
Sure. Guys, if you want to contribute to the GoFundMe so that we can make sure that masseuses are a thing in the future, please check out the GoFundMe for sure.
That would be amazing. Well, I assume we're not spending $1 million on security this time, but
yeah.
Not gonna get that crazy.
Not quite there yet.
Yeah. Just the quiet room for now.
Hey, I think that'll be good. It's just good to decompress if need be. It's a lot of people.
Right. And there's chargers in there and coloring books and things like that. I would love in the future to have like beanbag chairs. It's one of the things that I advocate for like every year. And every year Buddy's like, I don't have space in my apartment for beanbag chairs to stay, Sam. And I'm like, listen, we need beanbag chairs.
If anybody's wondering, BookNet Fest storage is my guest bedroom closet.
So when we upgrade to like a storage closet offsite, maybe
my beanbag chairs, but for now.
Good dream. Awesome. Well, Mara, thanks so much for joining us. We're excited to see you. And days. I started out saying weeks to people, and now I'm like, it's days.
It's days. And thank you guys so much for organizing. I know it's a lot of work, but I'm really excited.
I'm excited to meet you.
Yes. Excited to hang out. Bye.
Bye.
So speaking of the GoFundMe, since I briefly mentioned it, I think we should kind of talk about that a little bit. So part of the whole reason we're doing the live stream is also just to kind of get ready, get people in the mindset for the event, but also because this is sort of our last fundraising push. So we have a GoFundMe that's open throughout the year for the event, and that helps us with extra costs. We do not have all costs covered all the time by sponsors or even ticket costs. It really depends year to year. So this ensures that the event is available for years to come. I know a lot of people have said they want to come in future years, and we're like, yes, but also it takes money to run an event. So, and we're completely nonprofit, so we don't get any kind of stipend from it or anything like that. This all goes towards event costs. As we said before, AV is very expensive. We want to continue to improve the things that we already have at the event, make prom bigger each year, things like that. And it just takes more money than you would think it would take to run an event. So if you guys want to contribute at all, the links are on the BookNet Fest Twitter. So definitely check it out. Any little amount counts. So if you're like, oh, I can only give a small amount, that's totally fine. It adds up and it helps, I promise. So if you guys want to contribute to that, please do.
Yeah. Another cool thing that we do, and we've done, I think this is our second year that we've been able to pull this together because of people contributing to the GoFundMe and things like that, is that we have a scholarship for a marginalized creator who would not otherwise be able to make it. And we usually can pull that together and get them on a couple panels while they're there that weekend. So this is obviously something that we want to expand and be able to make sure that we're hearing from people who normally wouldn't be able to fund themselves to get to an event. But sometimes it's those voices that, we kind of most need to hear from. So like Sam said, all of this stuff just gets reinvested back into the event, all of the money that we raise. And 2020 obviously is already in our minds and planning and all that stuff, especially when we hear that people are planning to be there in 2020. So we just want to make sure that we have what we need in order to secure the dates for next year, and secure the location and everything.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah, speaking about speakers more, as we know that getting speakers is actually very hard to do. And we know that we can always improve on the people that we have at the event. And we're always constantly looking. And a lot of times if we aren't able to get particularly a marginalized creator, it's because they are not able to afford the event costs. Going to events is expensive. And even though our creators don't have to pay for tickets, it's still a lot to have to travel. And people taking time off work and things like that. So ideally, we would like to be able to have a stipend for all of our speakers in the future. That's one of our kind of stretch goals. We're nowhere near that yet. But again, things like fundraising and attending the event and talking about the event is really huge for that, because we do want to get to a point. And again, we're not trying to pay ourselves. We're still just trying to get it so we can pay speakers and get more marginalized creators, more than one a year on that scholarship and things like that. So like I said, any amount that you can contribute is really helping us to make this the event that we've always wanted it to be, and that it continues to be, as we build upon it every year. So, yeah. It is really cool to see, talking about that. We said from the beginning that we wanted to do kind of a sponsorship fund, and the fact that we've done that the last 2 years has been really cool. We've both wanted from the beginning a prom. So this year having prom, I feel like is so symbolic. It's like we always were saying that year 3 is going to be the year that we can do more things, and it really has been. And there's been a lot of people talking about the event this year, which has been really cool. Like even more than they have in the past, which is awesome. Even if people can't attend this year, they've talked about attending in future years and things. So it's been really, really nice. Is there anything in particular that you feel like is one of the things you've been waiting to see, or is there a topic this year that you like, I'm so glad that we're doing this? I know, again, we love all of it because it's our child. Literally the whole event roster, I'm just like, I want to do all of it, the whole thing. And, we can't. But is there anything that you're like, that's the thing that I've been waiting for?
So I think that from the beginning, content-wise, content is kind of obviously we all contribute to it, and we're already talking now for 2020, what we can cover. But content, I feel like, is sort of my baby, in that I'm always putting all the details together and putting the schedule and all of that stuff together. So I think that from the beginning, Sam and I both talked about how we wanted to use these panels to go a little bit beyond the 101. And some of the things that we see repeatedly at these events, they kind of just touch the baseline of some topics. And I think that what we've done this year is kind of what we've been building towards, where the first couple of years we did have panels that were very specific, diversity kind of topics, which we felt we needed to do in order to lay a foundation. And we've kind of grown into a place where, we're going to talk about diversity on every panel. Yeah. And we just have these larger topics. And we found ways to make sure that in everything that we're talking about, we're touching on these subjects. So in planning all of that out, speaking to all of our moderators and all of our panelists, like I'm just really, really excited about the ways that, you know, we don't have to put people on a specific panel to have to broach these subjects, but we are in a place where we can talk about it everywhere and how it affects every aspect of the publishing industry and the book community. So, and I think we've got a really great lineup of speakers and panelists this year. So, I mean, Mara's just on here, and I cheered a little when she signed on. I didn't know she was next, but she's one of the people that I'm looking forward to hearing from. So I think I got to talk to India and Najiri last year, like very extensively after the event, and they're both speakers this year. So I'm looking forward to seeing them on panels and, you know, everyone in every panel, but that just off the top of my head, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah, definitely.
But you, I mean, prom, I know is like your baby.
My baby. Prom and Goth Fantasy are my two babies, like throughout the entire thing forever. Everyone should know that for sure. But what I just am so proud of, like just repeating some of the things that you were saying, but just having just assortment of creators on every single event, just all the, from the beginning, we've always been like, we need people from different platform sizes, different races, different sexualities, disability representation, everything from the beginning. And like we mentioned before, it's definitely hard to get everyone there based on, you know, different difficulties that people do face. But at the same time, it's like we have an event and we've created an event where that's possible. And so we don't have to be, you know, we're not an event that sticks everybody on one panel and is like, oh, you're diverse, so you're going on the diversity panel. Like we don't do that. So that's why I think is really, really exciting. And I'm actually really excited, and I've talked to you about this, that this year is the first year I feel like I'll get to breathe at the event.
Yeah.
You know, we finally have gotten to know a lot of our speakers that have returned multiple years and gotten other moderators. So we are not moderating everything, although it's so hard to like let go because we're like, we want control.
Yeah.
It's really nice to be like, no, we can really give it to other people, and we trust those people to do just as good of a job as we could. So I feel like I'll get to actually socialize and meet a lot of people that I haven't gotten to meet in previous years because I've just been so busy running around and moderating and stuff, because we both are the entire time. So I think it'll be nice that this year we can kind of get to know people, and I can, you know, actually sit in on panels and watch things going on instead of just being like, how did that panel go? Mine was good too, but I wanted to watch that one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's definitely, I think that's going to be something I'm really excited for this year.
Yeah. Year one, we moderated, Sam and I moderated every panel. And it was, I mean, we did it on purpose because, you know, a lot of times when you go to book events, it's the same handful of people that are on the panels over and over again, which, not to, you know, be shady, but it's just, you know, the same people who get to do this speaking. So we were branching out and inviting more people to our event, but you don't know how somebody does on a panel or if they're comfortable with a panel until you see them. And then moderating, I think, is even a step up from there. Like, I still get nervous moderating because it's a lot of responsibility to like make or break the panel or whatnot. But, you know, over the past few years, we have veterans like Kathy and people who have who know the event and who know the kinds of panels that we want to put on. So it's really nice to be able to get them more and more involved and to give this a lot back to people, you know, our volunteers and everybody who comes to speak, because we've said it from the beginning. This is definitely an event that we want to be like for you guys and to hear your feedback and incorporate all of that, and hopefully continue to get more and more people to help and to speak and to share their thoughts with us.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. It's just, it is very nice that it's like now we have people that even if we haven't officially had them part of the planning, it's like we have people that we trust at the event. And it's like, I know there's certain volunteers who've been volunteering every year, and I can be like, hey, I need you. You know, like help me out, you know? So that's really nice. Or even like we said, people that can moderate, that we're like, they understand what the event's about. They understand, you know, the conversations, they know how to cut off if there's an inappropriate topic, which again, our speakers are great. So I can never see that happening. But if it ever were to, as we grow, I know that our moderators would be like, nip that in the butt, you know, like, so I think that that's really nice. And it creates a really good atmosphere for our event. Like, yes, we're very biased, but like, I honestly, like, I never feel bad vibes at our event ever, which is really cool. Because I am very sensitive to bad vibes. So. Are there any things that you're really excited about for the future, since we're kind of talking about the future a little bit? We're waiting for one more guest to pop up, but are there things that you're already looking at? I know we have a brain dump that we started it for already, so.
it's hard because I'm like sitting here trying to like rack my brain, but 2019 is so like here that I'm trying to think like future. I don't know. I mean, we've talked about, and we've talked to people who haven't been able to come to the event quite yet, but that we've like started to establish a relationship with. There are definitely like speakers and authors that we have in mind that we think would be a great fit for our event. And it'll just be fun to continue to see, because I think that, we have like the frame and the basis, the foundation of what this event is, but it's really going to be like the speakers and the topics and like the little tweaks that keep it, alive and fun year after year. So there are a few people that we've talked to, and I know this is being very vague and probably not like super fun for anybody, but just to like pique your interest. But we definitely started conversations with a few people that I would love to see at the event and that I think that everybody would love to hear from. So
yeah, definitely. So we have another guest.
Yay!
Oh, hi.
Hello.
Hello. Wait, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah. What's really nice about this new streaming thing is apparently it works really seamlessly, which will be great for the future because we have so far as the stream starting, have not had any technical difficulties, which is a big change from YouTube normal.
Yeah, sorry about a little delayed. I am sitting by some trees that have these bees, and so I definitely just like moved because one came to my area, and I was not happy with it because I'm outside. So
you're like absolutely not.
Don't mind me just like leaving. So
totally understand.
Hi.
Hi. Do you want to introduce yourself to everybody that's watching?
Hi. Yeah, like I said, I'm looking out for these bees. They're like fluorescent green, and they just bother me. So anyway, my name's Olivia, and my channel is I Live You for Books. This will be my second year going, and I feel like only lately I've considered myself more of an artist as well. I like to deface books and do art videos, and also just in general talk about books. So yeah.
So speaking of things that, before you got on, we were talking about some things that we've always wanted, and book defacing has been a thing kind of from the beginning. Because I feel like when we first started the event, book defacing was like sort of up and coming, I guess, and now it's sort of an established thing. So what got you kind of into book defacing? I'm sure you started as just like you're an artist in general, but like what made you want to start doing the book defacing and learning that?
Yeah. I think first it was taking the step to feel confident to even write in the book, because I was like so many people where I was like touching the book at all, writing in it was like off limits. But then Ariel Bissett posted a video a couple years ago about annotating books, and still one of my favorites. Like I love that video. And that convinced me to write in the books. And then eventually I was like, be kind of neat to just draw on it. But I was like, has anyone done this? And I was looking it up. And one of the most popular books that I see defaced is A Queer Mist and Fury. Like that's just the one that everybody does. I don't know what it is about the book, but and Stephanie from her channel was Pink Lemonade Reads. She did like a beautiful defacing. I had seen that. I was like, okay, I got the confidence to like do it myself too. But that was kind of how it started. But it's really cool to see what people come up with, and also like going into like sprayed edges. That's something in the past few years especially, and it's so fun to see what people come up with. So I really love it.
Awesome. I'm getting a little bit of weird Wi-Fi stuff. So Madi, if you want to ask questions while I make sure that I don't leave the chat.
So we've been asking everybody, that you mentioned that this is your second year. So we've just been asking everybody if you have any tips for BookNet Fest or book events in general. Like what would you say to people to prepare or to be ready for an event?
I would so definitely look at the schedule and see what you like first, just like get familiar. Because sometimes I'm that person who like, if I don't know where I'm going in the moment, I'll be like, kind of stressed out because I'm like, dang it, I should be doing something right now, but I don't know where to go. And I've been to other events like BookCon and Y'all West and that kind of stuff, and having even an idea of some panels or things that you want to go to is really helpful. And then also knowing that every single person is super nice and wants to be there, and like it's super easy to strike up conversation with people. Like the people that I met last year, I'm still in contact with this year. I'm rooming with someone, and it's just like so exciting. Like I'm so excited. I feel like that's an understatement at this point.
Is there anybody that you'll be meeting for the first time that is like coming to the event, or somebody that you're excited to see or meet again?
I'm excited to see just everyone's faces again because I was there very quickly last year. Like I came, my plane arrived like 6 a.m. on Friday, and I left like after the panels were over on Saturday. Okay. So I didn't really have like that buffer time afterwards to like catch up with people. Like I left after like that gathering at the end. I was like halfway through it. I was like, I've got to get on my plane. But I'm excited to see those people again and like hopefully have longer conversations. Yeah. Also a channel that I recently found, Left on Red, Jordan. I know that she's going, and I adore her channel. I found her this year, and I love her content. So she in particular, but yeah, and also just seeing everybody again, because that's kind of what I go for.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I definitely feel like when we talked about it before when talking about kind of BookNet Fest and how like Madi and I met, but there's always people at every event that I do go to, whether it's BookNet Fest or another one, where I'm like, I'm going to find them because I want to be their friend. They don't know that we're going to be
friends. Like, you already got them in mind. Like, this is going to be a match with me. Mm-hmm.
Sure. Like there's always a few people on YouTube. I mean, I want to meet everybody, but there's always a few that I'm like, this person, I've been watching this channel for like 1.5 years, and we need to talk so that you know that you're my friend. Mm-hmm. You know, I know those people.
I so relate.
Yeah, it's always good to see people. I mean, we've mentioned it earlier in the stream too, that it's just like you unload all the stuff that you haven't been able to talk about since the last time you saw them. Even if you talk on Twitter or whatever, like it's just different in person. So it's nice.
It is. And one of the things that I was following in and out because I was like trying to find Wi-Fi before here. So I was like popping in on the stream, but you mentioned just seeing people in 3D as opposed to 2D is just like, I can't get over it each time. You have an idea, you only see like this much, or sometimes even if maybe you interact with them only on social media, it's like I only have their little icon to go off the person. I'm like, I have a moment where I'm trying to like, okay, that's that person. And it's striking and it's fun. It's fun, but it's like certainly something that you really only get in like this kind of environment where we have seen everyone online and then we just suddenly are in person, and it's like, wow.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So you talked a little bit about how you got into book defacing, and you'll be leading the workshop at BookNet Fest on book defacing. So how's it been going preparing for that? Are you bringing a book that you'll be working on at BookNet Fest?
I've been trying to think, because there's this one, if any of you follow Elliot Brooks, she has a YouTube channel, BookTube channel, fantastic. And she has a book called Peace and Turmoil, and I've had something in mind forever to deface that. And I'm thinking about bringing that with me, but definitely planning it has been fun. I try to ask, like, because I never led like a workshop, so I've been asking like my sister, like random people. I'm like, okay, say I'm leading this workshop. What is it? Like, it's been very fun planning it, and I like that it'll be hands-on. That like people will bring their own book. Like it's just different, and thanks for the opportunity to like lead it. Like, I'm really excited.
Yeah. So since you're getting to actually come down and seems like enjoy the event more than just having to do the travel, are you doing any extra things like going to any of the amusement parks or anything like that this year?
You know what? It's not even specifically the amusement park. You know, it's just like at the top of my mind is It Chapter 2 comes out that weekend. And there's a 4D theater nearby. A 4D. I've never been to a 4D theater, and I like horror movies, and I want to see this where like the seats are shaking and all of that. It's like I'm already ready. I've already been checking out tickets. Like I am ready to see this thing. And then you know what? The panel I'm on is speaking about book adaptions the same day that it comes out, and I'm just like, this is everything. This is perfect. I love Chapter 1. I'm so hyped for this movie, y'all.
Wow, I didn't even know that they had 4D theaters. I'm like so behind. I didn't even know that was a thing. Although like I probably wouldn't, because I can't be that immersed in movies. It's not safe for my anxiety. Any movie, Transformers, I'd be like terrified. Like I couldn't do it. But I'm excited for you because that does sound like a cool experience.
Yeah.
If it's like almost like a haunted house in like.
It seems like an experience. And then also like related to BookNet Fest, prom. Like the fact that you guys have a prom is so, I've been trying to decide on what outfit I'm going to wear. But I will definitely be there.
Awesome. Excited. Well, thank you so much for joining us here. I'm glad that the bees left you alone.
Yeah.
For a little bit of time.
And then, like, anytime I look away, there's no one here. It's summer for me. Like, I'm just in an area where no one is. But like, anytime I look up, it's because there's like that buzzing. So yeah, I'm glad they left me alone. And thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining. See you soon.
Bye. Oh man. And I'm like, what can I see in 4D that wouldn't terrify me?
Nothing.
What if they had like Pride and Prejudice in 4D?
When would the chairs start shaking?
They wouldn't. You just feel someone grasp your hand.
Wind blowing through your hair as you're in a meadow.
Like early morning light would be filtering in.
Yeah, perfect. We just invented something.
Oh, wonderful. Start screening it immediately. I can't wait. What are like the little extra things that you're real pumped about this year as far as like some of the stuff, vacation wise for the event?
Yeah, so I am doing the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, and I'm like not like a big Halloween person, but at first I've heard from a lot of people that this event is just like really fun inside the park. But also we went on the same date to Magic Kingdom last year, and it was super empty because it's one of the earliest like Halloween parties of the year, so not a lot of people come, and we got to ride everything we wanted, and there were like absolutely no lines, and it was just like a really fun, easy day at the park. So I'm a huge Magic Kingdom fan, so anytime I'm there, I'm like happy.
Yeah.
How about you?
Well, last year was my first time even going to Disney World ever, Disney anything ever, so I'm excited to return. Last year, when you guys were doing the Mickey's Not So Scary, I was like, that's stupid. Why would you do a Halloween party like in the beginning of September? And now I'm like so hype. I'm like, yes, it's time. So that's exciting. And also, I'm doing Epcot Food and Wine before the event. Madi sadly can't due to scheduling, and I'm very, very upset. But I'm going, and I'm really excited about it because Food and Wine has been like a goal of mine, even though I haven't been to Disney for years. So the fact that I can go and like eat at all the little country booths and have a margarita and stuff is going to be really exciting.
Yeah.
And we have our last guest.
Yay!
Yay!
Hello.
I literally just saw that you emailed us. Sorry about that.
That's fine. I've been watching the whole time.
Well, introduce yourself to everybody.
I am Alexa Dunn. I am an author tuber. I'm an author, though I'm doing more and more booktube content. I really like it. So I guess I'm both now.
Yeah.
This is my second BookNet Fest.
Yay!
I'm so excited.
We're excited to have you back. What's it been like, going to events as a YouTuber and also author? AuthorTube is sort of like it's been a thing, but I feel like it's really started to blow up a bit in the last few years. So what's that kind of been like for you at events?
Well, it's opened a lot of doors. A couple of the events I've been to, it's become obvious. I've been like, why was I invited? And then I've realized it's because you have a YouTube channel. So they know that you're not completely incompetent when it comes to talking about craft. So that's been amazing. It's helped me feel more confident, honestly, because going to an event to talk about your book, you feel like an idiot. You feel like an imposter, but I actually feel like I have a YouTube channel. I know what I'm talking about. I'm fine. So I'm not nervous about panels anymore. So
yeah, that's
something about like we talk about this too, like trying to make sure that we're grabbing a little bit of everybody, BookTube, AuthorTube, like Instagram and Tumblr and all of the things that something about YouTube, like I know how you present yourself because I can see your video and I've heard you talk before, so it's a little more challenging with other platforms or whatnot. But yes, I feel like if you've done this for a while, there is certainly something to be said about speaking in front of like live bodies and like that kind of nervousness, but this really does prepare you for a panel.
It does, except the nice thing about videos is you can edit them.
Yeah.
Whereas I still get a tiny streak of nervousness, though it kind of depends on what the thing is. Like, I'm not nervous about the drama panel at all. Like, I'm ready. I'm so glad you kept a list. I'm like, yes.
Yeah, there's definitely something about this that I feel like has added to my public speaking, because before it was like I could never, and now I'm like I could I can present professionally to things. Like I talk all the time professionally on camera. I mean, professionally on camera. So yeah, that kind of helps out. What you've really been jumping in with our event as far as like getting authors together and writers and stuff, which has been really cool from the get-go. You were really enthusiastic about that. So how do you build part of the author community as part of the book community in community type spaces like this?
Well, with BNF, I've just told everyone about it. I've like put it in videos behind the scenes. I've been like, you know, there's a certain someone coming, and I was like nudging. It's like, hey, you should come. Oh, and I'm bringing copies of my ARCs to BookNet Fest. So if you don't get approved, yeah, I told my publisher to send me a box of ARCs. So it's like, it's a book space. Everyone loves free books. What are you doing? Well, no, and I've just been encouraging it with the author space, that this is a good gathering place. There aren't many opportunities to meet YouTube friends IRL that aren't the big, massive cons where there's a lot of noise. It's expensive to travel and go. It's all that insanity with like people losing their minds over lines and arcs. So I think BNF is just the most chill, best opportunity to have face-to-face real conversations with people.
Alexa was one of the people that like we met last year, and the first time was at the event, and we ended up hanging out pretty much the whole event. So.
I forced you to be my friend. It's okay. Like Sam, you were saying just now, like you have people. I was like, you just don't know that it was you last year. And Lainey, I was like, Lainey, we're gonna be friends, and it happened.
Right.
Is there anybody that you haven't met that you will be meeting for the first time at this event, or is anybody you're excited to see, or is it all friends from last year? That
it's mostly friends from last year, only because I don't know everyone is going. Like every year, there's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're here. But like, I haven't seen Duncan in person in a year, right? No, I'm excited to see Emily Duncan. I call her Duncan because there are so many YA authors named Emily, and I'm friends with many of them. And you guys, of course.
Yeah, it'll be good. Yeah. Any tips that you have, since this is your second time attending? We've been asking people that are veterans, BNF veterans, to give some tips for people.
Don't be afraid to say hi to people. It's awkward. It always feels awkward. Though it is kind of a balance. It's like, look for the best forums for like making new friends. So like the meet and greet is great. Anytime you see people standing around looking lost, like say hi. We all like literally the same things. So there's an automatic icebreaker there. Go to any of the additional meetups. So like we're doing a writers meetup, Lady and I, just so that anyone who writes books, like we're doing it on the first day, so you can find us, and then you'll guaranteed have someone to like hang with and chat with the whole con. Yeah, and I hope we do the pool this year. Just like, don't be afraid to like walk. Like it's scary, but we literally all like the same thing. So you can say hi to anyone.
Yeah, that's one of the things we mentioned earlier too, that it's just we try to facilitate as much talking as you can, even though a lot of us are nervous, and I'm the same way. I mean, even going around the meet and greet last year, like saying hi to people, I was like, people like are here because they want to meet other people, but also I'm like, do you want to talk to me though? Like, is that fine? Like, so we all have that moment, just kind of, I try to tell myself to just like, people are here because they want to talk to people, just go. And, the worst that can happen is you say something stupid, which like, who hasn't done that? So.
Well, and also just forgive awkwardness, both in yourself and other people. I think that's a good tip, because you will feel like an awkward panda, and someone else might be awkward too, but you just were 5 minutes ago, so it's fine. No one cares.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Will you be reading or writing anything while you are at BookNet Fest?
I'll probably be reading a thriller. I'm just trash for them. I basically finally broke my reading slump with thrillers starting last December, and I haven't stopped.
Okay.
And they make great reading vlogs and whatnot. I'll probably be vlogging while I'm there, which I'll be in good company. Every time I go somewhere, I have to explain to people, I'm going to look really stupid, but I'm vlogging this. They'll be like, what? I'm like, it looks good when you edit it.
Right.
Writing, there's no way I'm going to be disciplined enough to do any actual work on books while I'm there. I should, but I won't. So just reading. I'll read a thriller. I'll definitely have some kind of thriller. Yeah.
For sure. So this year we're having prom, and a lot of people have talked about it. Is there anything about prom, is there any song that you really want to hear at prom so I can add it to the playlist?
Your go-to dance song.
Yeah, what's your go-to dance song? Or
So
karaoke
many.
song, really.
Well, karaoke song, Total Eclipse of the Heart.
Oh,
Like, also, I'm a huge fan of We Belong by Pat Benatar, but I don't know how like universal that is. Also, huge fan of Roxette, It Must Have Been Love. But I feel like you can bust out Total Eclipse of the Heart in a ball, like a prom environment, and everyone's on board.
Yeah.
Generally, I'm very pro 80s. I feel like there's some good danceable stuff. And what's nice about doing like classics, which shouldn't be classics, but I'm old now, in quotes, because I'm not. That's the thing. Like, nice mix of like 80s and 90s and like early 2000s, like bops, like boy band, girl band stuff is always really good. Backstreet Boys?
Yes.
Always a good time.
Yeah, I actually was listening to that a lot lately when I was adding to it. I was listening to Backstreet Boys. I actually was listening to their like, what was it, the Blue like Millennium album, I believe, because I was adding songs to the playlist and I was like, what was this album like? And I listened to it like all the way through a couple days ago, and it's like this was good for its, you know, for what
it was a good time. Honestly, it's a nice time to be alive. I won't lie. I was a teenager when all of that stuff came out, but I was just too old to like lose my mind over boy bands. I was just a little bit too reasonable. To, like,
which is good.
So that's the perfect age to experience all of that, you know?
Yeah.
Tween is really the best time because that's when you really lose your mind over cute boys in bands. So I sadly never had that.
Yeah.
I didn't grow up with YA or the proper boy bands, and it's all really sad.
You can go buck wild at BookNet Fest and Prom, and we will tell no one.
So in fairness, I did in college. I had a Westlife phase, which will only make sense if people are from Europe. No one else knows who they are. They're Irish. They're very cute. They were before One Direction, same production company and management team.
I feel like they were featured on Disney a little bit. Is this? They were featured on Disney a little bit?
Probably, yeah. They tried to make fetch happen, i.e. break out in the US, and it never did.
Yeah.
So, womp womp.
Sad.
And I'm going to Disney. I'm excited. I haven't been to Disney World in 20 years.
Oh my gosh, that is exciting.
Well, I've been to Disneyland. So, like, I've done Mickey's Halloween here in California. Disneyland is great. Are you here?
I am from Florida. I have a threat for Disney World.
It has a rustic charm. Disneyland. It's smaller.
Well, I'm really excited prom-wise because I haven't had a chance to drop this, but we are going to have like a little bar there, and we have...
I should have said that's my favorite part. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Well, we have drinks that are themed to book things, and we're also going to have a BookNet Fizz, which you guys can look forward to. It's going to be really nice and refreshing.
Gin Fizz?
I'm not sure what's all in it because
I love a good gin fizz.
I think I don't remember what the drink is, but champagne and stuff in it too.
But my question is, will there be Oreos?
I'm gonna try to force Oreos on all of my friends, but they won't let me. So
recently, like a news article and I almost shared it with everybody, but it was just in China, I think, that they released like wasabi and some other flavor of Oreos. And I literally still had a gag reflex from how many Oreos
I have not recovered from that.
I have not either. I haven't had a single Oreo since then.
Oh, no, I definitely have. I've been eating some limited edition ones. They had s'mores out for a little while, which I might bring if I can.
That sounds good. Bring that. I will eat that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Oreos, if you want to sponsor prom, I would really appreciate it. Thank you,
Nabisco. I'll just get right on that.
Sorry, and I know that was super insider because I don't think the video ever went up, but we taste tested like 25 different Oreos and almost got sick, and it was disgusting. And I'm traumatized.
Yes. We still have the footage, but no one wants to edit it. So if anyone wants to edit our really fun taste test from last year, please volunteer in the comments.
I'm excited about the collab space. I think that's a great idea. Because I think that's the other thing. Like, I guess this is a pro tip for everyone. The lighting in the rooms.
Terrible.
Not great for filming. So it's a good thing there's a collab space.
Yeah.
And also we did that collab and we were literally like packed like 8 on the couch and like 8 people in front or whatnot. So the rooms are spacious enough, but probably not for us.
When you don't have 12 people filming a video, the rooms are actually huge.
Yeah.
So,
but a collab space, and you can all sit together and film your videos.
Will there be backdrops and stuff?
Yes. Yes, we have a backdrop that works, and seating and stuff like that should be nice. Yeah, and that was one of the reasons why all of our attending events over the years, like everyone knows that you want to collab when you're at events, but always every hotel room ever looks awful.
Yeah,
so
they really do.
That's why we're like, we need a collab room. We need a collab room. So finally this year we could make it happen, and it's exciting because
don't they understand our needs? Like honestly. Well, and actually with the new Instagram generation, I feel like everywhere needs to improve their lighting as a matter of course.
Yeah.
So
exactly. And have windows in hotel rooms. Like I get that some places don't want to, and it's hurricanes down there. I know, Madi, I know, but like I just feel like we really need windows,
Listen, I'm like the weatherman. I'm like, I don't know, there's 2 things developing in the tropics. And
yeah. Is there a weather forecast? What should I pack?
It's been rainy as hell this summer.
I love rain.
I know.
Sorry.
So
I live in California. It's hell. I mean, it's great, but it's hell.
Yeah. Yeah. So being prepared for the rain is never bad. The first year at BookNet Fest, we had like almost like a flash flood while we were like on Thursday night, and we literally had to like swim to our cars in the parking lot. So it is rainy season in Florida, but it usually rains for like a specific moment or whatnot and then stops. So, but just being prepared for that, and then for it to be hot before and after, and you'll be set.
Yeah, definitely bring ponchos and umbrellas and stuff, just because you're probably going to need them.
Or purchase them when you get there, because maybe you don't own an umbrella in California.
Oh. It's not real.
Well, it's really, I had one and then I lost it, and I just never
haven't needed to replace it.
It rarely is needed. We had heavy rain this year, and I just wore a hoodie. It's fine.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm so jealous of you guys.
It does make Disneyland really great, though, because it doesn't rain.
Did my eye roll come across on the? I don't know if you guys could see.
You can also do the whole park in one day because it's small. Come on, it's great.
You gotta go big or go home. Apparently. Yeah. Madi's told me before. I've never been to Disneyland. I don't have a horse in this race.
It's great.
Well, Alexa, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're excited to see you. I'm excited to eat s'mores Oreos with you, and I'm excited for you to be singing 80s ballads at prom.
It's going to be obnoxious, and you're going to hate it. But
no, we're going to love it.
We're going to love it, for sure.
But also, could there be literally karaoke? Because I adore karaoke.
It's hard for AV for karaoke, but we will add that to the list of things to do.
Is there a karaoke bar near the hotel?
Ooh.
Alexa's going to set up a karaoke night. Text Twitter. We will definitely let you guys know when it happens.
The idea has been planted.
Right.
BookNet Fest 2020.
It's happening for sure. See you in mere days, girl.
Yeah. Thanks.
Bye.
See you soon.
Oh my God. We've reached the end.
Yes.
Of the live stream.
We did it.
This is it. I feel like this was a good way to like prepare, get ready, get in the mindset. Fun things are happening.
Yeah, I'm excited now. It is a good like way to see people that I'm excited to see in just a little bit here, and talking about it all definitely ups the excitement.
Yeah, for sure. So guys, definitely check out the GoFundMe. This was kind of like our push for the GoFundMe, our fundraising kind of effort. So if you can contribute at all, we talked about a lot of things throughout the event so that you know what the event has to offer if you're not going, if you want to go in the future, things like that. So definitely check it out, spread it to other people and let them know about it, so that we can continue to do this and add. And next year we can have karaoke.
Yeah.
That's what the people want. All right. So thanks guys for watching, and we'll see you if you're attending BookNet Fest. If you're not, definitely participate on like some of the chats that we're going to be having post-event. And also there is a BookNet Fest FOMO readathon for people who feel like they are missing out on BookNet Fest that's taking place for that weekend. So definitely check out the Twitter, because Sarah Jane for the Book Life is running it remotely for us because we'll be really busy with the event. So she's going to be running all of it, and she'll be announcing that on the BookNet Fest Twitter. So if you don't follow that, definitely check that out.
Awesome.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.